Now wait a minute, did you expect me not to use that intro anymore? Come on. Like, I said that I'm going to use this image until King-Ohger is done, and I'm going to use it. It's literally free real estate. But to be completely honest, I am kind of upset to say this, but this episode was kind of boring, and it's weird because like this episode was fully revolved around two of the most interesting characters of the show, being Rita and Daiboski, but it wasn't really fully about them. This episode and the last two episodes kind of make me feel that the writing team doesn't really know what to do with the amount of episodes they have left, so they just like padding for time and just dragging shit out. With the Mothman's new ability, I understand that they were a fiend for like the last two episodes ago, but still, he started using them in like the last two episodes. So I don't give a shit, it's kind of dumb. Because like, he could have used it before! Like, why he didn't use it before? Like, that's actually dumb. The rest of the team are pretty much kecked, alongside the Morphonia and Suzume. Pretty much all of them returning at least mentally for the King-Ohgers as babies. And Gira to like a young kid, it's like around like maybe like 4 or 5. Not mentally there, but like Yanma and Himeno are very much babies, which is a fetish, probably. It was a side mission in one of the Yakuza games, so it does make sense. And the only responsible adults are Daiboski, Rita, Jeremy, and Rakules. Rakules and Jeremy decide to take care of the kids, while Rita and Daiboski are going to take care of the young adults, being Suzume and Morphonia. As I stated in like the actual intro for this episode, not the intro or the prelude to the intro, no, the actual intro, when I talked about, you know, the episode not fully being about Rina and Daiboski, but kind of is. Yeah, the episode is not really as fully about them, which is weird because like those two characters could have had an interesting story with those two people having genuine contrast in how they view things. In like Rita being super obedient by the rules and never lies. Okay, they lie from time to time. Really depends on Muffin's situation. But like, they're most of the time like, oh, they're the Supreme Justice. They're most of the time going to be at least as neutral as possible and try not to lie. Where Daiboski literally would say, I would lie, I don't give a shit. That's actually interesting. But like, it's way more about Suzume and Morphonia, which I don't hate. Like, I think those two characters are interesting. But the problem is, we are like, what, more than 5 episodes away from the finale, and now you're getting a focused episode on those two characters? Being like, why? Again, I'm not trying to complain, I'm not even saying it was a bad episode, but it like feels very out of place. It's like, this could have been anywhere near the beginning of the first arc, even the second arc. Like, you could introduce Mothman's new abilities very early and have those two characters kind of interact. I understand, like, Suzume's entire thing is like, oh, I wanna sell my body for Daiboski, like, I want to marry a guy that I love, and I don't like Rakules. In fact, if I see Rakules, I would try to kill him, which she tried, but like, it just feels like it's not the right place. It feels like, okay, why are you doing it right now? In episode 45, out of what? Probably 50? Maybe slightly more? I don't know, I didn't really feel it. Like, the only interesting parts was about Suzume, because the big reveal of Morphonia being the daughter of criminals, which do make sense. Like, literally one of the big kind of highlighted backstories to Gokhan is what, more than 50% of the prisoners are the citizens of Gokhan. So it's like, oh, she is the daughter of two inmates. Yeah, like, makes sense, like, logically. But I did really enjoy seeing like Morphonia kind of more like weird wild side. That was fun, alongside kind of her maybe questioning herself if she's even worthy of being the Supreme Justice. Again, it's cool, but it's like not, end game worthy type of like episode. Like, it feels way more off because it's like about two characters that are, if you really think about it, not as integral to the story, and they don't bring some deep, meaningful meaning, in my opinion. I don't know, maybe it's just me. Maybe I'm expecting slightly something bigger than this, and that was just like, I don't know. And pretty much the entire episode ends with Rita and Daiboski telling Morphonia and Suzume that they don't really get each other. But also vice versa. Rita and Daiboski don't get Morphonia and Suzume. And they actually get to an understanding, Rita being fully complete with Morphonia taking over their spot as Supreme Justice, while Daiboski tells Suzume that she doesn't need to rush back to Tofu and she can continue her life with Rakilis, while Morphonia gets where Rita is coming from, alongside with Suzume getting where, Daiboski is coming from. And pretty much, yeah, like, that's it. Oh yeah, the Mothman is now entirely frozen because he's literally a husk for Dudaro-jan to just return. So he's going to come back in like the Boomjer versus King-Ohger special, right? And also, I kind of really weirdly want to talk about it. King-Ohger is getting 2 versus movies. I hope those are 2, like, at least 40 minutes each versus movies and not 20 minutes each, because if they're getting Daigo's actor for pretty much an episode length movie, I would actually jump out of the fucking window. But yeah, extremely disappointing episode of King-Ohger this week. What you thought about it? Comment below, let me know. Thank you very much for watching this video. I'm glad that my channel isn't fucking dead and not deleted. And yeah, subscribe to it if you already didn't. And have a great rest of your day.